Hello, we are started to study the second chapter of the political science, democratic politics. That is, what is democracy and why democracy? In this chapter, you will get the answers of these both questions: what is democracy and why it is needing to prefer, why the most of the countries are preferring democratic government. That all things we will see in this part. Directly, we will start with a simple definition. A simple definition of the democracy. Democracy is a form of government in which the rulers are elected by the people. This is a broad definition of the democracy and simple definition of the democracy. Democracy is that kind of government, that form of government in which the rulers are elected by the people. This is a useful starting point. This definition allows us to separate democracy from forms of government that are clearly not democratic. With this definition, we can understand easily. It is a compulsory need of a democratic government. The representatives must be elected by the people. If any government is not elected by the people, it means that government is not democratic government. Monarchical government, the rule of kings, that is not the democratic government. Or maybe military rules are there. In many countries, military rules are formed. That rules are or that governments are also not called the democratic government. It means that are non-democratic government. In the earlier part, we have seen the simple definition of the democracy, that is, the government must be elected by the people. Now we are going to see in detail all the features of democracy. Then you will understand the meaning of complete meaning, detailed meaning of the democracy. We have started with a simple definition that democracy is a form of government in which the rulers are elected by the people. This raises many questions. What is this? Who are the rulers in this definition? Which officials must be elected for any government to be called a democracy? Government is elected, but it means which people are there elected by the people? That is the question here. Which are the officials who are running the government? Whether they are elected by the people. This is the question. That answer we will see in this part. Which decision may be taken by non-elected officials in democracy? Every decision is not taken by the elected government. Some decisions are taken or followed by non-elected people also. Who are they? How they works? That also we will see here. What kind of election constitutes a democratic election? Just taking election is not enough. What kind of election is there? That is also answer we will see in this part. What kind of election we have seen? Who are the people who can elect the rulers or get elected as a rulers? Which people are allowed to be elect the rulers, or who can be contest in the election, or who can become the ruler? Should this include every citizen on an equal basis? All citizens are having equal right to elect this government? Can a democracy deny some citizens this right? This democracy is denying this right to someone. What was happening in French before the French Revolution or with the new constitution? Whether the same is happening in all democracies or there are some changes to say it is the democracy. Finally, what kind of form of the government is a democracy? Can elected rulers do whatever they want? Once they elected by the people, once they got majority, it means are they free to do whatever they want? These all answers we will see in this part. Or must a democratic government function with some limits? For the democratic government also, are there some limits or not? Whether it is functioning with the limits or not, that we will see here. Is it necessary for a democracy to respect some rights of the citizens? For citizens, some fundamental rights are there. So, is it needing to respect it or not? That all we will see. Let us consider each of these questions with the help of some examples. Every question we are going to see with the help of examples. We are going to get answer with the help of examples. The first is the major decision by elected leaders. The case is here given. The example is here given about the Pakistan. Many countries are calling themselves as the democracy or the democratic government. The Pakistan is also itself claiming it is the democratic government. So now with this example we are going to see whether it is a democratic or not. So the example is given of the Pakistan. In Pakistan, General Parvez Musharraf, he was the chief of the military, but he overthrew the democratically elected government and declared himself as the chief executive. In October 1999, he overthrew the democratically elected government and declared himself as the chief executive of the country. Later, he changed his designation to president. Earlier, he himself was calling as the chief executive, but later on, he changed the name of his designation and called president of the country in 2002. He took referendum. Referendum, it is one kind of election only. The people can give their opinion whether they are interested to keep this person as a leader of the country or not. So for remain the leader of the country, Musharraf also taken referendum in the country. So referendum in the country that granted him 5-year extension. With this referendum, he got again 5 years extension to rule in the country. Pakistani media, human rights organizations and democratic activities said that the referendum is not on a fair way. The referendum is taken and through this referendum, General Musharraf got 5 years extension to rule there. But there is a blame by the media and the human rights organization that referendum followed by the malpractices and the rule got extension here. So maybe the Pakistani or the General Musharraf himself is claiming this is the democratic government, but the Musharraf himself is not elected by the people. That is why we can't say this is the democratic government. After getting elected by the referendum, getting extension, Parvez Musharraf brought some legal changes in the Pakistan legal framework order that amended the Constitution of Pakistan. Through this frame, they amended the Pakistani Constitution. According to this order, the President can dismiss the national or provincial assemblies. The amendment is brought here that the President can dismiss the central government or the provincial government, the national or the provincial. Provincial means state government. Any state government can be dismissed, or the central government, that national government which is elected by the people, can be dismissed by the President without any question. The work of civilian cabinet is supervised by a National Security Council which is dominated by the military officers. First, he amended the constitution to dismiss any government. The second is here, the government which is elected by the people is supervised by some officials, supervised by a National Security Council. The National Security Council will supervise the cabinet. The council was dominated by the military officials. It means there was dominance of the Parvez Musharraf. After passing this law, elections were held to the national and state assemblies. After passing this law, the elections were held for the national level government and for assemblies also. So Pakistan has had elections, elected representatives have some powers, but the final power reset with military officials and Government General Parvez Musharraf himself. Here, you will not get confused. The elections were there, the representatives were there elected by the people. But keep in mind, the final power was in the hand of council or by himself, the President General Parvez Musharraf, who was not elected by the people. So, it is very false to say the Pakistani government was elected or the democratic government. The elections were held, but just the taking election is not enough. The power to take decision should be in the hand of these representatives, not in the hand of the other. This feature we learnt in this part with the help of case of Pakistan. They cannot take the final decision. The elected government, the elected representative cannot take final decision. The power to take final decision rests with the army officials and with General Musharraf, and none of them are elected by the people. This happens in many dictatorships and monarchies. They formally have an elected parliament and government, but the real power is with those who are not elected. It is happening in many countries. Elections are taking place, but the final decision-making power remains in some hands, some representatives who are not elected by the people. Parliament is having for nominal. In the last in a democracy, the final decision-making power must rest with those elected by the people. In this part, we have seen, in this feature, we have seen just the taking election is not enough. The final decision-making power must be remain in the hand of elected representatives. This is the first feature of democracy we have studied in this part.